What up, good people, and welcome to another episode of This Is Dope. It's your man Ahmad here, back with part 2 of our 3-part series on iPad Pros with iPad OS and Kali Linux installed on Raspberry Pis. So in this particular video, part 2, we are going to be dealing with configuring the Raspberry Pi with Kali Linux on it to accept remote connections, as well as to connect to the iPad Pro and leverage its LTE capabilities and for connectivity to the internet and so forth and so on. So without further ado, let's go ahead and just get to the video and show you guys how to do this next part. So what I've done is I've gone ahead and connected everything to my Raspberry Pi. I've connected my wireless Bluetooth mouse, my wired keyboard, my HDMI to micro HDMI adapter, connected my HDMI cable going into my television, as well as the micro SD card with the Kali Linux image on it, and powered my Raspberry Pi up. Open the terminal here, and because this is really where we need to start. So the first thing that we need to do, well, actually I take that back. The first thing you need to do is go up here, top right corner. As you can see, I'm utilizing a big television. Make sure that you connect your Raspberry Pi to some network. It's your wireless or wherever. Connect it to a network. You're gonna need an internet connection. That's the first thing you need to do. Secondly, is going to be to open this terminal window, right? So we're gonna open this terminal window after we've established connectivity, which we already have. And we're going to do a couple of things. First thing we're going to do is we're going to do apt update, because we're going to install type VNC. All right. You can tell I've done an update recently, so here we have it. Now, I've already installed type VNC Server, so it's not actually going to install. The actual install will go through and ask you a series of questions. It's not here because I've already installed it. But all we would do is apt install type VNC. Oh, I spelled type wrong. It's not going to work. There we go. Type VNC Server. All right, hit enter. It's going to download, and if I hadn't had it installed, it would install it, right? So now that that's installed, there's a couple other things we need to do. We first need to create a file that we call VNC Boot. I will paste the details and the guts of this file in the description, so don't worry about trying to copy everything down off the screen. I'll paste what you need to put in the file in the description. But the file needs to be located in as you can tell, I've already created it. So we would create it via Nano. Go ahead and paste all the contents in there. Control X out. If we were writing it, it would ask you if you want to save it. You of course would say yes, so forth and so on. You should know how to use Nano if you're at this point, right? So we've done that. What we want to do secondly is chmod the file. All right, and so we chmoded the file. Okay, the next thing we want to do is ensure that type VNC Server starts when we start up our machine, right? So, like I said, I've already done these files, I've already done this, so I'm just going to tab up, but we would do an update-rc.d VNC boots defaults, right? That's the command. So we would do that, we'd run, and then we're golden. Now we can reboot this machine, and type VNC Server will start up when Kali Linux starts up, and we'll listen for incoming connections. The other thing that we want to do is we want to enable auto login, right? So we don't want to have to try to log into the device doubly. VNC is already going to prompt you to log into it, and then you're trying to log into it with the regular Kali login screen. I don't think it's going to be allowed, because it's going to stop everything from starting, right? You're never going to get the login prompt. So what we want to do here is, once again, I've already done this as well. No. We want to, let's see, hold on. There we go. We want to go to Nano Etsy Light DM. Let's see, hold on. You want a CD to Etsy Light DM. That's what we want. CD, Etsy, Light. Then we want to do is we want to nano the lightdm.conf file. We want to go all the way down until you get to the auto login portion of the file. Now you want to go all the way down towards the bottom. There's going to be a couple of places, but we want to get to, it's going to be underneath the, let me get the section for you. It's going to be underneath the seat star section. You're going to want to erase, erase the comments from in front of, I did auto login guest equals false. I also did the auto login dash user. You're not going to have a username there. So you need to delete the comment here and then insert the word root here. That will allow you to auto log in as root. And you're going to want to delete the comment on that one as well. So, after that, you're going to want to control exit. If you made a modification, it's going to prompt you to save it. Yes, you're going to want to save it. And now you've disabled auto login. So at this point, you are set up to be able to connect remotely to the Kali Linux Raspberry Pi solution, as well as not have to worry about services not starting because you have to log in. Now what you want to do is this, and I'm going to zoom out a little bit for you guys. Let's see, let's do this, zoom in a little bit more, and up. All right, we want to go back over here to our network connections. Now, what you need to do is enable your hotspot on your iPad Pro, all right? Enable your hotspot. Once you've enabled your hotspot, then your Raspberry Pi should detect it, and as you see here, join to your hotspot. All right, so that will allow you to connect to your iPad Pro. The next significant thing, and actually the requirement that you need to do before you do anything else, is set the priority on this as well, right? So you connected to your home Wi-Fi network. You also have connected to your iPad Pro's personal hotspot. Both of those are in your list. You've connected to them previously. You're good. Go in here. Go to, right click on here. Go to edit connections. Now what you want to do is edit the priority, right? Now in Linux, the higher the priority, the higher the priority. It makes sense, right? If the higher the priority number, the higher the priority. So for darknet, you want to highlight that, which is my home network. Highlighted that. I set this as the highest priority. You go to general. It's a 3. So when this thing's at home, this Raspberry Pi is at home, it's always going to choose darknet over everyone else. In the absence of darknet, it's going to choose my iPad Pro because I've set the priority of 2. Now, for whatever reason, if something's wrong with my iPad Pro's LTE connection or whatever reason, I connected to my iPad 11 Pro Max. I select that priority as 1. Now that way, if you prioritize it, then it will ensure that it will always choose the appropriate connection based on where you're at. And so allowing it to be able to connect to my iPad Pro allows me to have connectivity between my iPad Pro and the Raspberry Pi at all times, which is the goal of this video, right? So that concludes it for this part. What we're going to do in the next part is really just go over connecting to the Raspberry Pi, the different things you can do, how that's done, and really just a couple other cool things.